I ain't seen a haboob in years.
Yeah, much less tasted one.
Welcome everybody back to this episode of Discombobulated. We missed you. Took a little bit of time away. Lots of people had stuff going on, as I'm sure that everybody has stuff going on. So we figured let's crank it back up tonight and let's talk about the stuff going on. Ethan, I know that you've had some stuff.
It involves Ethan, so everybody, this is going to be dramatic, I'm sure.
Shut up, Jake. I mean Kyle, not Jake. I would never tell Jake to shut up.
You kind of just did.
Yeah, so I had to take last week off because I couldn't speak for 10 straight days. I woke up.
So awesome.
I woke up on the Sunday of the 26th of March and literally could not speak. I was like,
How did you work?
Very
did you write
poorly.
Did you have like a whiteboard where you'd write it all down?
Well, so like I could speak eventually, but it hurt the whole day. Like every time I tried to say a word, it would just hurt. Come to find out, I was like, but here's the thing. No other symptoms. No sore throat, no coughing, no sneezing, no running nose, nothing. Zero zilch, literally just couldn't speak. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have throat cancer. Like
exactly where my brain would have gone to.
I was like,
for sure.
Like my career talking to people is over. My career on YouTube is over.
Can I ask a question?
My whole life is ruined.
I feel like there's already a plot hole in this.
What do you call him? A plot hole?
A plot hole. There's a plot hole in this storyline because he said it hurt to talk, but he didn't have a sore throat. What can you?
When it like physically hurt my vocal cords to try to make sounds.
Where are your
like
vocal
when
cords
I could
located?
eat and swallow like liquids and it didn't hurt to do those things. So it hurt to speak, but it did not hurt to like use my throat. That's a terrible way to say it.
I mean,
More
you said
examples?
it, not me.
It didn't hurt to eat food, but it did hurt to try to speak.
As a doctor of physical therapy, is there not anything that you could do to provide therapy to the region that was affected?
So this was my routine for 10 straight days before I could speak in the morning.
You totally
again.
gargled salt water, didn't you?
Every night
I knew it.
for like 5-10 minutes, gargling water in the bathroom.
Did you ever accidentally swallow it or did you always spit it out?
A little bit, but it just at that point, I didn't even care.
Yeah.
Every morning, 30 ounces of hot tea.
Did you measure the 30 ounces or did you just guess?
It's just a Yeti cup, 30 ounces. So
Okay, gotcha.
it's a Yeti.
Okay.
So 30 ounces of hot tea.
Was the tea flavored at all?
It's sweet tea.
Okay.
I mean, it's not
Sweet tea. Okay.
Yeah, it's sweet tea.
I thought you were like Earl Grey or something. You know what I mean? I didn't know.
No,
Okay.
I'm not quite that bougie.
Continue
I don't know why
on.
you guys are
Continue
cracking
on,
up.
Ethan.
It's not that funny. So
What's after your tea?
mints, wintergreen, lifesaver mints all day.
So you went like on a heavy sugar diet is what you did with
Straight, dude, I didn't
laryngitis.
have a choice, man. I couldn't speak if I was not lubricated. And Jolly Ranchers, of course.
You couldn't speak if you were not what?
If I was not lubricated. It's the way I'll say it. Kyle, stop laughing. Dude, this was serious. My life was flashing before my eyes. I couldn't speak.
Sweet tea, mints, and Jolly Ranchers.
Jolly Ranchers.
Is what the doctor prescribed
Gargling
for laryngitis.
salt water. Salt water. And then
Said
by
you just
about
you just
the
swallowed
fourth
a
or
little
fifth
bit.
day, I was like, what could this be? Laryngitis. It's a thing.
Yeah.
The only symptom
said it.
really is that you can't speak. Horrible disease. I'm a survivor of laryngitis. That's
You should get a
offensive
shirt
probably to
made.
people that actually survive serious things. But
Even in his lifetime, has survived laryngitis, tidal waves, and crashing through a bedroom wall.
pretty much. So
you definitely need to have some shirts made.
I survived laryngitis.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like that would. Hey, look.
I mean, in case you ever get it again, you just wear this shirt and people are like, oh, he's got laryngitis.
Kyle's
Fine.
dying.
It's fine.
Kyle's never laughed this hard in his life. I don't know what was so funny about
I
this
mean,
story
I
about
think
me
it was your
almost
heavy
ruining
dose
my
of
whole
sugar to treat your sickness.
That wasn't it.
Did you have a better
No.
solution? Like I could have got the sugar-free
I
Mintagreens
could
or
have given
whatever,
you a
but
solution that would have helped you.
I mean, I'm not a doctor at all.
what did you want me to? I can't do cough drops. I thought cough drops would work. You eat more than like 2 cough drops in a row, dude. Your stomach's upset. You're hurting bad.
What about chloroseptic?
I don't even know.
Never had
I'm
that
not
happen.
drinking chlorine, whatever you just said.
You've never heard of chloroseptic?
Are you a
No.
doctor?
What is that?
Chloroseptic is that throat spray, like when you have a sore throat and you spray it and like numbs it.
Do they make that stuff anymore,
But
Jake?
that's
I
the
think
thing is
we're-
my
No,
throat
I've
was
got
not
some
sore.
in the cabinet.
Oh, okay.
How do
All
I
I
get
know
it to
is
my
one
vocal
time
cords?
it hurt so bad. Like if you're only supposed to do like 3 sprays, I'm like, forget this. I don't want to feel anything. And I sprayed it like 30 times. My entire mouth was like numb. My throat felt better, but like I couldn't.
Drooling
I was
everywhere.
drooling and stuff. It
Jake's
was
just
bad.
like, well,
Well, my throat doesn't hurt. My throat feels better. I can't. Yeah, exactly.
I feel
Oh.
like that medicine was like it was good for you when we were younger type medicine, but not anymore. So they stopped it.
Do they really not make it anymore?
They make throat.
I'm pretty
I'm just
sure.
gonna
they
go-
still
I'm gonna
make
Google it.
I used to have like the cherry spray that I would spray in the
Yeah.
back of my throat. I remember that when I was like younger, but honestly, I've never looked for it since then. So I don't know. I
Yeah.
didn't even think about it till you just
They
said
definitely
me
still
trying to
have it.
spell chloroseptic is a mess.
I can get it
CH.
delivered to my house by 10 p.m.
LORO.
Taylor, it's 9:45. How are you going to get it in 15 minutes?
That's what it just says.
SEPTIC.
Dude, you should buy it just so we can test
Just
it.
to see.
Just to see if it shows up during the show.
Did I get the spelling right though?
Oh, but
I
it's,
wasn't listening.
yeah, I
How
wasn't
do you
Can you
either.
spell
start over?
CHLORASEPTIC.
Chloroseptic.
I think I mixed up the A and the O. I did an extra O instead of an A.
Dude,
It is sugar free, so it
See?
wouldn't have worked for
So it
Ethan.
wouldn't have worked for Ethan.
wouldn't have worked for Ethan.
No.
You're not healing yourself if you're not giving yourself diabetes.
So did you all of a sudden just woke up one day and like it was back?
Well, it was like 2 or 3 days before I woke up and I knew that I was getting better because by like midday, I didn't have to like pop continuous mints to talk. And so that was at about the 7-day mark. So there was a good 7 days where I just couldn't speak at all and was really pathetic. But that was my only symptom, which was super obnoxious. Like if I was sick, I would have just been like, going to take a week off and just like rest and I'll feel better. And why are you looking at me like that, Con?
Did you just say if I were sick, I would have just taken a week off?
Yeah, I would have just rested for a
It's
week.
like, I'm just gonna,
I just give up on life for the next week. I'm
Yeah.
gonna lay in bed.
hey guys, I'm not gonna be here for the next week. I got a cold.
I mean, probably not a week, but at least a few days to rest.
Ethan, I love you so much.
Well, you guys don't, if you go into work sick, like,
Ethan, we're at work right now. I just gotta walk downstairs and I'm at work.
yeah, okay. Well, you guys shouldn't have to take days off anymore then. I still
You
have
just
to
asked the
work.
question. You go into work sick? I live at work when I'm sick.
I feel like this comes really close to my Ryan Reynolds comment from the last show.
It
It doesn't.
Nothing will ever touch that.
Nothing ever tops the
Doesn't.
Ryan Reynolds
Well,
comment.
And he will never touch
reason
you.
So to finish the story,
Oh yeah.
so I lost my
There's
bus on
more?
Sunday. On Tuesday, I had a PC custom built. So I have a beautiful brand new PC, which I can't use because it's very much been if you give
It's
a mouse
voice
a cookie,
controlled?
he'll have to buy this and this and this and this and this and this and this to actually eat the cookie. Because when I got all of my stuff in to put the PC, desk is too small. I have to buy a brand new desk. Because my desk literally won't fit the monitors that I bought. And I can't mount them because the desk I use is really old. So it doesn't have like a place to mount a mounting bracket on it. And my wife is really desperate to remove all of the things off the floor because we just got a puppy a month ago. And so the puppy wants to chew everything. Well, I really don't want him to chew my $3,000 computer. So we have to.
I have a
take all the stuff off the floor. And so to do that, I need a new desk, basically. So
I know how to keep the puppy from not chewing through it.
What'd you say?
I know how to keep the puppy from chewing through things.
How?
Close the fucking door.
Okay, look, we only have 2 rooms in our house. I'm not going to keep one door closed the whole time.
Why? There's nothing else in that room that you use, is it?
My wife goes in and out. I want my dog to be able to go around my house. Like, he should be fine to just not chew on my stuff.
This is super interesting here, though, because Ethan, as an expert dog trainer, which you just confided in us that you are, normally I feel like the number one complaint from new dog owners is that dogs do chew, but they like to go towards things that fit in their mouth, not entire PC towers.
I'm talking about the cables, Kyle.
I'm just saying.
I'm not saying he's going to destroy the PC. I'm saying he's going to eat the cables.
I feel like we are joking about this entire situation, and Ethan is dead serious right now.
Serious.
Ethan is borderline pissed off right now because we have not taken any of this seriously.
He's so frustrated with me.
I want to know what happened after the desk.
Yeah, you can continue.
So what happened after the desk? Okay,
after you realized you needed a new desk.
Well, so I was like, well, I'm not going to just not use this brand new PC that I spent a ton of money on. I want to play video games on the thing. So I can't fit both monitors. I had a monitor already, a second screen. On my desk already fits. I can't fit the new monitor that I bought on the desk with the screen, like the current screen, and I can't mount them until I get my new desk. So I'm just using the old desk and putting on headphones because that's just the easiest solution to let me play video games. That wasn't a problem until I had to get on here, because normally I just use my speakers to hear you guys talk when we're podcasting. I don't have headphones in because I think they look dorky. And I realized, the whole reason I bought the second monitor was because the monitor I have already doesn't have built-in speakers. So I needed a monitor with speakers built into it so that I could hear you guys talk. And then I tried to make all the stuff work, and none of it worked. I was hearing myself, none of the audio worked. I looked ridiculous in the headphones. Just nothing worked. And so that is to say that I'm still back on my 4-year-old laptop, even though I have a brand new, beautiful, high-end PC. And I'm really frustrated by that because I want to play with my new toy and I can't because I'm too dumb to work it.
Don't they have, I'm pretty sure they do. I have one upstairs. No, I don't know what kind of monitors you have, but don't they have monitor mounts that you can just have on your desk? It's got a base that you sit on the desk and then it has the arms off the base that hold the monitors like this.
Yes. And I bought one of those.
Okay.
Except that it doesn't sit on the desk. It clamps to the desk.
Oh.
The problem is that my current desk is flush on the back. So you can't clamp anything to the lip of it because there's no lip. I think we discussed that when I went to your house and I said, man, I really need to make sure I buy a desk.
When you told me you liked my lips. Yeah. I
like the lips. Yeah. Because you have everything clamped on the desk. So nothing's on the floor. Yep. Right now I have my mic stand is on the floor. My lights are on the floor. Everything in my setup outside of the laptop is in some way, shape, or form touching the floor, and it drives me crazy.
How is your wire management over there?
Total chaos right now. The PC itself, beautiful, because the guy who built it for me is a total nerd about the cable management. So it looks amazing on the inside of the PC. On the outside, total cluster. Have no idea where everything is going right now, especially because I had it all plugged in and I had to unplug it and replug it back into my laptop. So total chaos.
Taylor, over under 8 days before Ethan can figure out what the hell he's doing with his PC.
8 days. He doesn't figure it out before Kansas City.
No chance.
Yeah.
He's not even betting on himself.
Next podcast, he will also be on the laptop for sure.
I'm guaranteed. Guaranteed. Yeah, because I don't even know when the desk. So we bought, so of course we bought the desk, and I want something that will be fancy, but also huge, which is because I want lots of desk space.
Yeah.
you don't want a little desk when you're like trying to write stuff and like you have keyboards and multiple monitors. I want as much space as possible on my desk.
How many keyboards you have?
Well, just the one, but it's pretty big. It's a pretty good size keyboard, but it's just the idea of like, I want to be able to have like a notepad and my keyboard and like a drink or pretty much anything I want. I want to have a huge desk. So
I have 3 drinks on my desk right now.
I'm at 2. So I want lots of space.
Kyle, how many drinks you got?
Spread out.
I have 2 drinks, a plate, a fork, a bag of potato chips. I also have 4 monitors, 2 keyboards, a Go XLR, 2 mice, and 2.
I have something that nobody else does in this room.
What do you have, Jake?
A pizza box on my desk.
Dang.
Mod Pizza, not a sponsor. Could be a sponsor.
Needle nose pliers.
He's got needle nose pliers. Random. Okay.
What's the most random thing on your desk, Kyle?
I have compressed air.
Lint roller.
Lint roller.
I have a tape measure for measuring like never mind.
I was gonna say we know what you're measuring.
We know what you were measuring.
I have a loyalty card to the pho restaurant.
The what restaurant?
Pho.
Pho?
Pho.
What is that?
Never had pho?
Pub?
No, pho.
Pho?
Oh, you're not gonna be able to say it.
I can't see it.
Pho.
Pho. Oh, po.
Pho.
What is that?
No one calls it po.
I'm just kidding.
It's pho.
I was just
gonna say.
Gosh, I knew you'd get so offended. Nobody calls it po.
I have a rock sticker.
I have a Regions Bank coaster. And that's pretty much it outside of like my PC stuff.
I have an EV pin.
EV pin.
What is that?
That's an EV pin. It's Pokemon.
So down in the comments below, I feel like I'm not going to ask people what the weirdest thing is on their desk because I already know. I feel like the comments are going to be too crazy. But are the people listening a neat desk or a cluttered desk type of person?
It's weird
because
like,
definitely sounds like a neat desk type of person.
I think Ethan wants to be a neat desk person, but he can't be because his desk is so small. Kyle seems like he's the type of guy that has to have every bit of real estate filled up with something electronic. Not that it's messy, but every little spot has to have something. Taylor, without seeing what he just put up, I would have expected Taylor's desk to be like immaculate. But then he started holding up random things that I did not expect on Taylor's desk. So now I'm starting to think that Taylor's desk is a catch-all.
Well, they're all just like really small random things that like it could be very neat in 2 minutes.
Right.
Very easily.
He's like opening a drawer, just shoving the whole desk.
Everything in the drawer.
Into the drawer, close the drawer.
I don't have any drawers. That's my problem. Like my desk is just like the A-frame legs and then the top.
That was a big thing when I was picking out my desk. It was hard because there's not like a lot of times the really big, like large surface area desks are designed for like gamers. And I play video games, but I wouldn't say that like gamer is the aesthetic of my house. And so they're like, either they have built-in like lights, which look ridiculous. Like I'm almost 30 years old. There's no reason for me to have a desk with lights on it.
Kyle.
My lights are on the wall. Thank you.
So I wanted like a really fancy desk, but I also wanted it to have the surface area of a gaming desk. And so it was actually kind of hard to pick a desk out. It was not as easy as I thought it would be.
So you should have gotten one of those new, who makes it?
Secret Lab.
Yes.
They make like really fancy, like $1,000 gaming desks, but they have no drawers. That's the thing. Like
they go up and down. They've got the little area to put your PC directly into. They've got the cable management built in.
Yeah. Not an ad, but if Secret Labs wanted to sponsor us, send me a new desk. I will test it out for them.
I would rip this place apart for one of those desks. I would need 2, but not being picky.
I replaced all my light bulbs in my room with LED, like controllable ones. So if I wanted to have like a total disco party and stuff up in here, I totally could. I only got one of them on right now, but I have 4 of them and like way too bright. But I had extra light bulbs, so I'm like, I'm going to do something with them.
That's
It's
what
not
I
on my
got
desk
here.
though. Yeah.
Jake, now this brings up a something I've always wanted to ask you, but never had a chance. Since visiting your house,
Yeah.
you are very pro smart home features.
Yes.
Is that correct?
100%?
Because you guys,
We can control
Your
almost our
house.
entire house with a remote or a cell phone.
your house is outside of being beautiful home.
Sucker.
It is gorgeous house. Jake is the dream. So, but you have more smart devices that are just like hanging out than any home I've ever been in. Because
Yeah.
I think here we're pretty anti-smart home. I don't know if it's intentionally.
Why?
I think it's
Last
just the
podcast
idea.
you were anti new car. Now you're anti smart home.
I'm not. I'm
Do you not
anti-electric
realize it's
car.
2023?
It's because it would take Amazon 45 days to deliver anything to his podunk town, so he just doesn't order it.
Well, it did take almost. It's been 2 weeks since we ordered the desk. But shut up, Kyle. But what I mean, I think my concern is just that like I don't want stuff listening at my house all the time. How do you is it the
Why? Do you have something to hide, Ethan?
Do you have a cell phone, Ethan?
I know, and that's where I thought you were going to go with the argument, and I think that that's totally valid because I do have a cell phone. It is a
And
smartphone.
everybody always has it in the same room as them. So if someone's going to be listening and watching, it's
It
already there
records
anyway.
everything I say. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Do you
Because
know
it
how many
knows
times
when
my cell phone
it'll
has
give
seen
me
my
an ad
penis?
for Secret Labs desks tonight, I'm sure. And so, but you're like, even the light bulbs and stuff, like you're totally locked in.
But it's all something that could be changed if I didn't want it to be that way.
Yeah.
I just choose for it to be that way. Like all the lights, yeah, we control it with our cell phones or a remote.
So a good hacker theoretically could control your entire home.
I mean, no, not the entire home.
Taylor, given
Taylor,
enough
no.
time and effort, could start
Taylor-
turning your lights on and off.
Taylor
would
doesn't
never.
strike me as a dude that wants to hack anything.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have an app here and it tells me how many smart devices I have in my house. Should we guess and see what the number is?
Oh man.
27.
Okay.
42.
No, he's probably got 27 in his office.
Okay, what was yours, Taylor?
42.
Okay.
I'm going 65.
Maybe Taylor could hack into my house because I got 42. Taylor's looking at the list right now. I got 42 devices that are smart devices.
Are you including like your TVs and stuff?
What's a smart device? It's anything hooked up to
Oh.
the network.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that was the difference for sure.
Yeah. Anything that's like, even my thermostats are all Wi Fi. I can
Well, that's
turn
what
my
I thought.
thermostat up
Maybe
and down.
like thermostat,
phone.
light bulbs, but not every light bulb in the house would be a
No.
smart light bulb. And then like the Alexas, like I was thinking that. I wasn't thinking like
a lot
smart
of
TV
the stuff is in the movie room. Like that's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Do you have
So-
smart chairs?
Nope. I actually have to push a button on those. I wish though. But then again, what would be the difference? I'd have to push a button on my phone. Just push the button on the chair.
Taylor, where do you stand on the smart home device debate?
Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Like I'm not gonna pretend that I haven't already invited someone to listen to everything that I say. So might as well go balls to the wall, you know?
Hey, every once in a while, just walk by an Alexa. I had to make sure mine was muted so it didn't think I was calling it. Just walk by it butt naked every once in a while. If that doesn't make people turn it off, nothing will. So
Get a
just
good
every once in a while, just
helicopter.
every once in a while, just gotta do the helicopter in front of it, and you'll be good to go. Show them the Batwing a time or two.
Can I tell a story about Jake's smart home and how his wife almost terrified me to death?
Is
When
this
I
about a
visited him?
helicopter?
No, it was not
Please tell me
related.
it doesn't include the Batwing.
Has nothing to do with. Do you call your penis the Batwing?
Wait a second. You've
You don't
never
know the-
heard of a Batwing?
I know.
Wait a second. Time out.
Like
Pause.
Batman's
Kyle, do you know what this
plane?
is? Taylor?
I don't know that I've ever heard it called the Batwing.
Are you taking the terminology from the movie Waiting or?
I don't know. I've never seen that movie.
Oh.
I'm not saying it's not from that, but I don't know if that's what it's.
Are you talking?
Never mind. I'll talk to this.
Do I even want to
I'll
ask?
show you off camera.
Please don't.
That sounds terrifying.
Please don't. I don't want to know now,
Yeah.
apparently.
Hand up emoji in the chat if you know what the Batwing is.
Have you ever done the brain?
I mean, I don't know how to do the brain. I've heard it called a brain before, but I don't know if.
Yeah, but you
Taylor,
have to
where
like.
are
You have
we?
to.
I don't know,
You have
dude.
to cup it and then
Yeah,
squeeze,
and squeeze
so you
it.
see all the
Yeah, I
veins.
mean, yeah,
I'm afraid.
I know all about that. Yeah. Anyway,
Wait,
wait.
I just heard squeeze it, and then
Hey,
I'm
while
not
you're
Googling
Google
that.
it on your computer. See what shows up.
We've talked in the past about things that you just can't Google because the FBI will be at your door.
All right. What did you do with my wife while you were here?
Don't put it like that. So, for anyone that doesn't know, I'm a very routine person. So I go to bed at about 11 o'clock every single day of my life, pretty much. Routinely wake up at about 8. The Hubman family does not. Jake's family, they live a time nomad lifestyle that is, I am envious because I could never do it. They go to bed at like whenever they feel like it, and they wake up pretty much whenever they feel like it every single day. And so I'm like, hey guys, like this, and I tried to like adjust to the surroundings, couldn't do it. So like at midnight, I'm like trying to stay awake, couldn't do it. I'm like, hey, I'm going to bed. Like, I'm an adult. I can go to bed whenever I want. You guys feel free to stay up until whatever
The
hour.
1 hour time
tonight.
difference gave Ethan jet lag.
Yeah.
I'm totally honest. I was totally out. I'm like, it's way past my bedtime. I'm going to bed. So I'm laying in bed. Now, mind you, there are smart devices in every single room of their house, including their guest bedroom. So I'm laying there and I'm like,
I know.
80% asleep, twilight zone, like almost. I can kind of know what's going on, but like I'm asleep, and I can hear Jake's son showering upstairs, probably to get ready for the day. I don't know. It's midnight, but they have weird schedules, and so this family, because their house is ginormous, communicates via the Alexa like smart devices in the rooms. And so Jake's lovely wife was like, hey, Alexa, tell Jake's son to be quiet because Ethan's asleep. Except that broadcast out at full volume to every single room in the house. And so I'm just like about to drift off into just euphoria because of how excited I am to be at Jake's house. And all of a sudden it's like, Jake's son, stop being so loud. Ethan's asleep. And I'm like in bed, totally wide awake now, because it just, I didn't even know that thing was going to do that. And it gives you no warning because it's just like you have to announce it to the house. And so now I'm a little nervous about the smart devices, and that traumatized me pretty well. So
I think it's funny that his son never did anything like that while I was there because he respects me more.
I don't know what you're talking about. He never showered while he was there? While you
No,
were
he
there?
wasn't loud. He was respectful.
I never heard that. I was asleep.
He cared about my feelings.
I didn't care that he was in the I did not care that he was showering because I was already asleep.
But he was never loud enough for his parent to tell him to be quiet while I was there.
Okay, now, more importantly, does this mean you have no Alexa devices in your house, Ethan?
I don't have a single Alexa in my house.
Kyle, do you?
4.
Taylor?
Only one, but then I've got several of the like Google
Nest.
Oh, you got like the Google Home ones or whatever they're
Well,
called?
because I've got one in the nursery because it plays. You can just tell it to play lullabies, and it's like a continuous loop of piano music, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
I've got the screen downstairs, like in the kitchen, But then also all of my like Wi-Fi points are the Google Wi-Fi stuff, and they all have the Google Home thing built in, so they'll play music or whatever too. So,
so it looks like you are the odd one out, Ethan.
He is every episode.
Okay, I never wanted to get in the hot tub with Ryan Reynolds. I would, but I haven't daydreamed about it, unlike some people.
So, is your wife the same way? Is she anti smart home type stuff too?
I don't think because like we have cell phones, but I was thinking about, okay, you said you had 42 things connected to your home Wi-Fi. I think I was doing the math in my head. We have 5. Our computers, I'll count the laptop and my PC as just one computer. So 2 computers there, technically 3 because my wife has a computer.
You can't work one of them though, so they are 2.
2 cell phones, and we just bought a TV that's a smart TV. So we have 5 devices altogether that are like truly connected to our home Wi-Fi.
You have
Ethan's the type of guy that buys a smart TV, then doesn't use the smart
our TV, we do use the like streaming part of it, but I never have signed up, like never activated the voice controls on our remote. Like our remote has like a pointer, like a Wii remote, but you can also talk in it and tell it like Google or Alexa and tell it.
Yeah, we're all in this century. We all know that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you can't do that with my remote because I refuse to set it up.
Wow.
It's still listening to you.
I mean, I'm sure it is, but
I even do that in my truck. I just hit a button and ask it questions because it's connected to my cell phone.
Yeah, I mean, I ask Siri questions every once in a while. Yeah, it's terrible at answering them. So
I feel like Ethan is a country boy. Like we know that Ethan is like in the small city, but I'm starting to think each and every one of these episodes that maybe he's a little bit more like not of this time
country boy.
Yeah, not of this time frame. Like I think Ethan is living how I was living in the 90s. But he's living it right now.
I mean,
by choice.
This computer has more specs than the dudes that got shot into space. So I definitely, I'm not an anti-technology. I just don't just limit the amount of things that listen to me on any given day.
What are you scared of them hearing?
Nothing, but I don't want them to. If I could turn off the cell phone, I would, but I refuse to because it's an addiction, really.
Are they listening? Probably. Do I care? No, I don't care.
I think that's the debate, though. It's like, how much do you not care? Like, do you care that your light bulb is listening, or do you only?
Hey, government,
suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it, government, suck it.
Did you ever see that movie? What was it, Snowden?
Yes, was it Snowden? Yeah, and what was the other one? Eagle Eye. You remember Eagle Eye is a little bit older.
Eagle Eye is good.
Eagle Eye is for when it came out. That movie's a little scary because it came out is that like late 90s, early 2000s?
Yeah.
Like when that movie came out.
It's definitely a 2000s movie.
Is it? When that movie came out, you didn't really hear about that type of stuff. Like you kind of the Edward Snowden type stuff, but it wasn't like as mainstream as it is now. Yeah. Eagle Eye was a really good movie.
The Snowden one creeped me out
2008
more because it was real. Like that was that really happened,
Yeah. And what do you think has happened since then?
Yeah, that was 2016.
It's only gotten exponentially more advanced. And now we got artificial intelligence out there listening and learning and God knows what else it's doing and taking over the internet and this whole, I mean, I've never done it. Have you guys done any of that Chat GPT stuff?
Oh yeah.
I don't even know how to use, I wouldn't even know where to go. Like I haven't.
Was it Trey or TJ?
Somebody in Discord was
Trey,
doing it.
Trey
did it.
Yeah, I'm not even a part of the company apparently.
Of the podcast, and like one of them, I think all of us kind of looked more like Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle's features must be dominant because somehow we all look like Kyle.
You put just generic white dude into AI, it just
spits out Kyle's
spits out somebody looks like Kyle.
Generic white dude with beard, and all of a sudden Kyle appears.
This guy.
He's got very distinctive features.
I want to use it, just mess around with it, but I wouldn't even know where to. Does it cost money to do that? I don't know.
I don't think so.
No, I think there's a premium version of it, but you can use it for free. There's a lot of them that are, and there's different ones. Like ChatGPT really is just spits out text. Like you can ask it questions or tell it to make stuff. Like I could tell it to tell me like a blog about the top 10 fantasy wide receivers from last year, and it'll spit out all kinds of information.
Is that the thing that Jay got super upset about one day because it said somebody else owned the fantasy?
Yeah.
Yep. It talked about everybody on the team except for me.
Did it really?
Yeah, and it says a former member of this team was the owner of it. I'm like, yeah, this just is broken.
Well, that's
what I mean?
bogus.
And he's
Did
got
it talk about
42
former
smart
members?
devices in his.
Yeah, exactly. So I got all those devices listening, Ethan, and they still don't know that I own the company. So it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter.
I wish I could. Kyle has since moved on in his career, but he used to be in higher education, correct, Kyle?
Yes, sir.
So I actually wrote a paper when I was in high school about how I believed that there were two things that were dying due to technology in higher education. And one of them was writing papers. So it was more just so that I could talk about how I hated writing papers. But the second thing was that I didn't think that learning English was going to be a thing that many kids did as autocorrect got better and better and better at figuring out what you were trying to say and just correcting your grammar for you. So grammar becomes less important the better that technology gets. And this was back like 10 years ago in high school. And so do you think, Kyle, being a former educator, that the influx of just text generating AI is going to eventually replace the need for people to write papers in college and high school?
No.
Why?
Well, I guess you need to specify what your question is. Is it going to defeat instructors giving the assignment or the students actually writing it themselves? If you're asking me if it's going to keep instructors from assigning papers, absolutely not, especially at the college level. All you do in college, especially graduate programs, is freaking write papers. It's less and less exams these days because there's more and more studies that have come out that have shown that test taking is not a useful tool in determining someone's knowledge of a specific area. So writing papers is never going to go away. Now, are students going to get lazier in writing their papers? They already have, for sure. So I guess that it depends on what you're asking me there, because it's two different answers.
Well, I think you answered what I was looking for, was just, will it basically phase itself out if you give me a prompt and I can plop it into a chat GPT and basically say, hey, give me 5 pages on whatever topic X, why this song relates to Romeo and Juliet.
Does chat GPT save anywhere? Like once you do something like that, is there like a database of it where people can find it?
You can just export it, but I don't think that
it's searchable like that.
I think they are creating ways to like check it to see if you.
Well, because there are systems that college professors use where all you have to do is like add the paper into the system and it will automatically pull information if it hasn't been cited, and it will show you in red how much has been taken from where and how much it is similar, and it gives you a score. So if chat GPT had something that saved, like if professors were able to find that, there's no way students would be able to get away from it much longer. But if it disappears as soon as it's saved and printed or whatever, they may never know. They may never have an opportunity. Now, here's the thing though. When you save these chat GPTs, can you save them as like a specific Word document?
Yeah, you can just like copy and paste the text out of it.
Oh, yeah. You can just copy and paste the text in it. Okay. Because a teacher can learn, I mean, good teachers, it depends on whether they give an F or not, can learn the writing style of students. And they would be able to tell pretty quickly if a student pulled something from somewhere and they haven't done anything with it. So students are going to do that. If you're out there listening right now, just take
Here's
this.
how to cheat.
Here's how to cheat. If you're going to do that, you have got to put your own spin on it. You've got, because Chat GPT is probably pulling that information from somewhere. No, like it's probably using databases and resources. If you're just, if it's just all of a sudden pulls from a specific website and a teacher throws that in the system to see if it's been copied and it comes back, you're effed, because most universities these days have almost a zero tolerance for plagiarism, because if you get it once, unless you play football, if you get it once, it's basically, especially at Alabama, no offense to those SEC schools, because if you get it once, like you get a 0 on the project. If you get a second time, you get a 0 in the class. And if you get a third time, you're gone. It's even more strict.
So it's more like 3 strikes you're out and not 0 tolerance.
Well, it depends on
The extent of what the project was.
It depends on the school. And it also depends on if the school oversees that or if the university oversees that. So you might have a university, but every university is going to have different schools. So you might have School of Liberal Arts, School of Arts, School of Health Sciences, school. So some schools oversee their own policy. So like I know, like colleges I used to work at, the School of Health Sciences, they were far more strict. Like the nursing program, you got busted one time, you failed the class, you had to repeat it. You got busted twice, you were out of the program. So that depends a lot as well. But I don't think they're going to stop giving papers anytime soon. No, I think that's going to continue. And also the only place that it's really hurting students is the younger age group. They're the ones that, if they're using the correcting tools for Word documents, they're the ones that are having a hard time learning. And I'm actually seeing it with my own kids. And I've had conversations with my kids as teachers about it, because like when my daughter, and I'm not going to give out specific age, but when my daughter was in like kindergarten and first grade, they did what was called best guess spelling, because she would miss some words and we'd be like, do we need to work on this with her? And they were like, no, we just do best guess spelling right now. When she gets to, second, third grade, they might start looking at that a little bit more. And then at that point, she got to second and third grade and she was still missing some words. And we were like, well, and they were go, yeah, like, honestly, we don't really worry about it that much. We just want them to get the phonics of the words, because we just need to make sure that they can get close to it. So then Word can correct it for them. I was like, oh,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, it goes back to like when I was in school, and for some reason I'm either having deja vu or I've mentioned this before, but they were like, oh, you'll never have a calculator in your pocket, but now I can do pretty complex math on my phone, and it is in my pocket all the time. Yeah. And so
showing your work was like one of the biggest lies ever.
Yeah, terrible. So much of my life I wasted doing that. But the problem with all of this AI stuff now is like, yeah, like I see what you're saying about, you could check it or you could see a writing style, but every time that I type in something and it writes something, it gets smarter. It's not just constantly regurgitating information. Like it's also learning. And I think that's I mean, I'm not scared of it completely. In some ways I am, but I think that it's just infinite in the possibilities. Like there's no way to really wrap your mind around it. And that's the part that I think is going to be really tough, especially on kids trying to learn stuff and using it as a workaround. Would I do it if I were in their shoes? Absolutely. Because all I care about is like getting the grade and continuing on, I'm not thinking about the future or what's going on,
especially if it's not a specialty degree.
I mean, I've had this conversation with my son who's getting close to the age of college, and I have flat out told him, I don't care if you go to school. If you know what it is you want, then 100% we will support it. But if you don't know, I'm fine with you being done after high school, because in my opinion, the one thing that people need to learn that they do not teach in college, a course on having a good work ethic. If you have a good work ethic, I don't care what it is, you can learn and be successful. If you don't have that, it's not gonna be any different in college. You're gonna go, you're gonna party, you're gonna oversleep, you're not gonna care about classes, you're gonna walk away with a degree that you don't even want to do when you graduate, and now you have $60,000 of debt. It's like, I don't care if you go to college or not. 60,000 is a low number.
On the low end.
But I'm just like, I just threw out a number, but it's a huge chunk of money that For what? I don't know. Actually, come to think of it, I don't know anybody other than Ethan that has a degree that uses it that uses their degree to have a job in that area. I know tons of people with degrees. None of them work in those fields. Ethan's the only one that I know.
So let's play a game. So knowing what we know about each other and where we are in life now, Kyle mentioned that they're like creating new degrees. Let's go around and the three that aren't being talked about, let's decide what degree. So Ethan and Jake, let's team up and decide what degree should Kyle have gotten that would help him be better at his life now.
That's a great question.
Because I'm a complete package. There isn't one.
Fashion designer.
Fashion designer. No.
My beard's on point right now though, so I don't.
It's looking pretty good.
It's looking good.
I mean, it's a beard.
What products did you use in that bad boy, Kyle?
Not the Manscaped beard trimmer yet.
No, because that's still sitting on the floor behind me.
What? No, I don't have one either. So
I don't have a beard, so I'm not using it. I'm still thinking about Taylor's question. So I mean, you can't really.
Ethan, can we say Ethan right now? Because I think his is obvious.
We can go Ethan.
No, whoa.
His is definitely how to use a computer.
Yeah,
you
need some sort of tech skills.
How to tell time.
Yep.
How to tell time.
Yep. You know, the funny thing is I am the company IT guy for a lot of stuff that goes wrong.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I'm saying.
You guys have like 90 Macks, don't you? Those big old square monitors still, don't you?
Listen, there's a serious lapse in the education of most, I would argue most medical professionals in terms of we get taught how to like treat humans, but we don't get taught how to use the equipment well that we have available to us. Like the computers, like every nurse, doctor, everyone uses computers. We all very limited education with them. So when you get a brand new electronic medical record, the number of, not necessarily my generation of PTs, but the number of PTs that I have worked with that when they get a new electronic medical record, it's like a month plus for them to even navigate it basically is astonishing.
Is that why when you go to the doctor
terrifying.
And they're like, okay, what's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? And you're like, okay, it's a 5. And then they spend the next 5 minutes typing. They're just over there at the corner.
Clicking. Yep. That's the electronic medical record.
How is this taking you that long to put in a 5?
Why do they still use the faces on everything for that?
Well, they only use the faces for children. So that's why you're probably getting them.
I see them on there. Well, maybe it's because all my trips to the doctor recently have been for kids, but I feel like I see them everywhere.
It's more common with children because children don't really understand pain as a form of scale, you know, because they haven't had very many pain experiences in their life. Kids don't get hurt very often. And so when they have pain, they really suck at describing it.
I'm still thinking about Kyle's degree. Like,
if I had to do one for Jake, it would be some sort of and it's going to come out bad to begin with. Let me explain.
Here we go. I knew this was
some sort of a wellness program, but more along the lines
he just called me fat on the internet.
Like yoga or something. I think we can both agree, and we have talked about it before, and I'm the same way. Just taking some time to woosah, right? Taking some time to
now you called me fat. I've checked out. I don't know.
Maybe doing some. Oh my god!
Did you say
doing some
out?
yoga for relief purposes? Okay.
Yeah.
Not for weight purposes. That's what I would design for you, is some sort of a wellness program to help you de-stress. There we go.
Is that what you guys were doing that night in the hotel in Indianapolis when I walked in late?
De-stressing?
Yeah.
I wasn't there. I don't know what.
So many people are picturing different things right now, but I can't even picture it because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Kyle, think about that. Remember when you thought about Ryan Reynolds last week, a couple weeks ago? That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're talking about.
what?
I'm saying I saw what I saw.
Well,
I mean,
what had happened was,
Are you
all I know, the only thing I do remember Yeah, that's a cute
Why is it pink?
chapstick.
It's
And why does it fit in your pocket?
It's like strawberry flavored.
It's Taylor's own pocket rocket.
Mack
Wow.
hemp infused chapstick. It's
All
great.
I know about the hotel in Indiana that I do remember vividly, because I waited for it. We were all going to sleep and all the lights went out and Kyle got up to change into his pajamas and I waited until he pulled his shorts down and I flipped the light on just to see him freak out. Little did I know he didn't freak out and Taylor got a full show.
Yep.
Taylor was basically like sitting up, looking in that direction, not
no idea
knowing what I was
going on.
doing.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm still thinking about Kyle's degree here because Kyle has a business sense. I can say maybe at times Kyle's communication could be better, but not the fact of communicating. It's just because I think a lot of people get the responses from Kyle and they think that he's like a dick for the way that he responds.
Sometimes he is a dick.
Well, sometimes it's valid,
Sometimes.
but sometimes it just comes across that way. So I don't know if that's a good.
You know
enough
why
one,
that
though.
is because when I started going to school, I started in communications and stopped. I didn't get that far.
No, you gave up on it.
These people are crazy.
I switched to business too quickly.
You weren't great with electronic things, but you've gotten better the last couple of years.
Oh my God.
Like at first, like you
I
couldn't
definitely
figure out
need
anything.
a creativity course because we even talked about it earlier today. You made fun of my graphics from the videos last year and you were like, I'm so glad Taylor's doing these and not you.
We were
I'm
getting
glad
ideas
too.
for videos and I went back and I watched his video. I'm like, well, one thing's for sure. The graphics are going to be a lot better this year. But
I mean, would you say that falls into like human resources? Like
I don't
just
know.
like being able to manage other people. So
But
like
he doesn't really have to manage other people
emotions?
now.
No, like a professional communications.
yeah, okay.
That's fair.
Like you have the ability to do it. It's just not always.
I'm very dry and I'm very to the point. I don't like to fluff it all up. You know those videos that you see like TikToks and stuff where they're like, how do you tell your boss to go F themselves professionally? And then the lady's like, she gives off some like super professional. Like that's what I need is I need like a crash course with them.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Taylor kind of fits perfectly with what he does. I mean, he's got the creativity.
Perfect.
He has the ability to take an idea and put it onto paper or a picture or an image. Like, I think that just fits it perfectly. I think a lot of people have the talents on the computer, but they don't have the vision. I think Taylor has the vision and the talents on the computer to do it. So I think what Taylor's doing just fits him perfectly. He's the only one of the three of us that I would say that about.
I would say Taylor should go into a degree in dance. I'd like to see him dancing a little bit more.
I am not a great dancer, so maybe that would help out.
There you go. I knew it.
I mean, I think
however, am
we could
astounding.
add Taylor. We could do a public speaking for Taylor.
Yeah.
I kind of thought public speaking as well.
Yeah.
Not in a bad way, just in
No,
a,
yeah.
like a
I actually
We are very outspoken. And I think sometimes that we forget that I don't want it to come across like we're walking all over Taylor because he's not talking a whole lot, but we love to talk.
I'm an observer.
He's a voyeur.
Yeah.
Taylor likes to respond with like the wittiest, stupidest shit ever.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, it's because I listen. I listen to everything
he
you say.
listens
That's
to
what I suck
everything.
at.
I'll be in
I
the middle
collect
of
them.
talking in Indianapolis, and Taylor out of nowhere just throws this. It's just like a little dig. It's just enough to get my attention, but not enough to make me upset.
Yep.
That's my style.
It's his style.
you know, I think he does follow Mack is that way too, though, in a lot of ways where Mack
People have no
wants-
idea who Mac is on this show
Okay.
yet.
Well, you know, whenever you get a chance to meet Big Mac. But Taylor and Mac are similar in that they're very good listeners, but you know, when they're about to speak, you better shut up because they're either going to say something hilarious or very insightful, and you're going to want to hear it either way. So I think that that's a skill. My wife has that skill as well, where she doesn't talk. Like people will be like, what's your wife like? Because I'm very outspoken. And so because she's
You are
pretty
nothing like
quiet-
your wife.
we're not similar at all. But what
Maybe
I try
height.
to explain to them is my wife is really funny. It's just that you have to give her the chance to be funny. She's not gonna just like come out and be funny right away. Like she has to warm up to you as a person, and then like she will get you eventually. And she's very funny when she does it. But I always say that our comedy approaches are total opposites. Like she's one really good joke and I'm like 50 rapid fire jokes. I'm just hoping something is going to hit that's funny. But when she says a joke and she does a dig, and Taylor's this way too, when Taylor's about to burn you, you know that is going to be fire and it's going to sting and it's going to be really hilarious. And that's how we're different, because I'm not that way.
Ethan is like the home run hitter in baseball, right? He's going to strike out 3 times, but on that 4th one, he's going to hit a home run. Then he's going to strike out another 3 times.
Yep.
Taylor's going to bat like 960. You know what I mean? Like he's the only way that his isn't going to be funny is if he screws up the delivery, right? As long as he can deliver it's a hit. Where do I fit in?
Ethan is not athletic enough to hit a home run.
Ethan, could you put one out of a Major League Baseball park?
Oh, absolutely not. Well,
Are you serious?
No, because it actually, so like I broke my thumb playing football in high school.
God, here we go.
We
broke my thumb playing football in high school.
Same look.
And I had surgery, and that ruined my baseball career. I played baseball all the way until my freshman year of high school.
Is that your right hand?
Left hand. And because I dislocated my thumb and had surgery, when I go to swing even a wiffle ball bat, it will hurt my thumb so bad that I had to quit. So I started playing tennis because I could play it one-handed.
Right now, Kyle, if you were to go to a major league field, could you hit one out of the park?
Yes.
Taylor, could you do it?
I haven't swung a baseball bat in a long time, but there was a time for sure that I could have.
I think I could do it right now. Could I do it consistently?
I'm not putting one out 400 dead center.
I am.
But I could go to left field easy.
I watched Jake curl 55 pounds at a time.
Well, are you talking about with a wood bat or with a metal bat?
I've never played baseball with a wood bat, so I have no idea.
With a wood bat, I could go out easy in left field. Maybe
is
even
a wood
right
bat
field.
easier? Wouldn't a metal bat easier?
I thought a metal bat
wood
would be
bat's
easier.
more difficult. But I couldn't go. I'm not going to hit the ball 400 feet with a wood bat. If you give me a metal bat, I could probably go out anywhere.
Dude, I'm putting one out 400.
It's been like 15 years since I've even had to swing a baseball bat. So no.
Same.
No, I may not be able to walk for 2 days after I swing that hard, but I'm gonna get one of them.
I would love. You know what? We should try to get into a baseball stadium and just see just how not close we would be.
Are you going to try to set this up like the restaurant in Kansas City, or are we going to try to set something up in
I'm
Kansas City?
pretty sure I'm going to get us into that restaurant. Okay.
Well, it's too late now.
We're
Why?
12 days away, Ethan.
Why is it too late? We're not going to eat dinner while we're there for 5 days?
Oh, we can go eat dinner there, but I think like setting something up to do something there.
Ethan's like, I'm going to get us reservations to the one place in Kansas City where you can just walk in and sit down on a Wednesday night.
I mean,
is there a
Ethan's
park
gonna
around
be
there?
like, I got us hooked up. We can just walk right in and sit down. We're going to walk in. There's going to be like 75%. See, told you we could sit.
I have connections in Kansas City. I'm going to do my best to use those connections appropriately. I have a direct connection to George Brett, and I'm going to do my best to potentially get us into a baseball stadium if that's what you would like to do.
Ethan, if you get us into the Kansas City baseball stadium, I will take back every negative thing I have ever said about you.
I want $100.
And I'll give you $100. If you can get us into a Major League Baseball stadium, I will give you $100 easy.
Okay.
And so will Jake.
I will book the tour of the Kansas City Royals today.
No. Wait.
We have to
You
hit
can't
balls
talk
on the
like you're going to
field.
get us on the field and then just get a tour of the concourse.
You said get into the stadium.
No. We need to
All
lay
right.
some more ground rules.
I'll do my best.
Here's my thing. If you can get us on a field where we can legit hit baseballs, I will give you $1,000.
Okay. Now I'm interested.
I'm talking like they have to provide. We're flying, so I can't travel with a box of balls.
We gotta provide the bats and the baseballs.
We need bats, balls in a park, and I'm not talking about some high school field. I'm talking about like a legit. It's got to be like, rookie ball, single A, double A, triple A, major league, some type of official field.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
Field,
yes,
professional field.
And it would be beneficial if we could have a pitcher as well.
A pitcher?
Not like a major league pitcher, just somebody to throw us the balls.
We're going to pile in the car in Kansas City, and Ethan's going to be like,
look, baseball player.
We got the stadium. We're going. But the one problem is it's the same night as the draft. So we can go to the stadium.
Listen, I got us a stadium. It's on Thursday night, though.
Thursday night.
We only have access to it from what time is the first round starting?
I don't know. 7?
Yeah.
I think it's
7 to 9.
We're gonna miss the first round of the draft, but I have the stadium.
Yeah, we can't be Thursday night.
Listen, for $1,000,
if you can pull all that off in 2 weeks, then yes.
He couldn't even set up a computer in 2 weeks.
That's why
he's getting us into
Kyle,
a stadium.
that's why I offered $1,000 because I don't expect it to happen.
Ethan,
like,
you look like a guy that has a one-size-fits-all screwdriver. You have one of those ones that like you can pull out and flip it, and it's got Phillips on one side and then flat on the other side. You look like that guy.
Is that the brain thing you were talking about earlier?
And it's in your junk drawer, isn't it?
I've got lots of tools, so I probably have one of those. Is that like not a manly thing to have a screwdriver that fits?
I didn't say that.
Do you have a drill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it still in the box?
No.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind using tools. I hate hanging things up, though. I hate hanging things on the wall.
My wife and I don't fight, but we get into very significant arguments when I have to hang things on the wall.
I don't like doing that.
Is it because it's always crooked and she just ends up doing it herself?
No, it's because I suck at visualizing it. So like I don't want to hang something there because as soon as I hang it, I'm not going to like it. And now I have a hole in the wall. And some things like I try to use like those like small like finishing type nails just to hang it up temporarily so I can see. But honestly, this sounds like the least manliest thing I've ever done. We have gone to using command strips on pictures. As long as they're not like too much, like 10 pounds and under, I'm using command strips like the Velcro kind. Because if I don't like it, we can just take it right back off the wall again.
Dude, I use command strips on everything.
Yeah, we've started to use a lot the last couple of years. Ethan, what do you use? Command strips?
It depends on what we're hanging.
Are they too smart for your house? You can't have command strips?
Depends on what we're hanging. Most of our stuff is just nailed into the wall, but I can't be trusted to use the power tools because I just brute force them. So our walls are like, I don't even know what you call the crap where it's like shiplap, I think is what they call it, where it's like wood, but then it's like concreted together and
that's a pallet wall.
I
feel
like
like
that's why I was asking him. Is it similar to this?
No. I'm saying like under the wall. So like this wall.
That's drywall.
That is a wall.
It's not drywall.
It's not drywall.
It's not drywall. It's
the hell kind of podunk town house do you live in?
Shiplap. It's like looks like that. Okay, so not like what Kyle's looks like, but it's like wooden. It's a wooden like base. And they've put like this like clay looking stuff on it. And so one, it's way better insulated than drywall is because it's just natural insulation. But the problem is it's really hard to drill into. Like you have to have a drill to get into this stuff because it's basically concrete.
Like plaster?
Kind of, yeah, similar.
Huh.
I'm pretty sure it's just called like.
I'm sorry, but I feel like this description from Ethan, and this is just based on recent events, is nowhere close to being what it really is.
There's a high
he's gonna come back in
possibility.
5 minutes. And he's like, you know what? It is drywall.
Yeah.
I totally feel like though, like I think Taylor is. I want to say that Taylor is probably the most handy with tools out of all of us.
My wife is whispering from across the room that it's some type of plaster, I think.
Nailed it.
It's a shiplap underneath it. Lathe. Plaster and lathe. I don't know what that means.
I don't even know what the hell that is.
I made
Can
that up.
she tell your
apparently.
stories from now on? Because
Yeah.
she's so much easier to follow than you.
Yeah, plaster and lathe walls. Look them up. They suck. Let me tell you. Not fun to try to
When was your house built? Do you know?
1907.
many years ago.
It was put together with mud and
lathe-
straw.
Lathe and plaster. LATH.
I didn't ask how to spell it. I don't care. I'm not going to Google it.
It's also fire resistant, I think.
Shut up. Try to light it on fire. Let's see what happens.
Do it now.
I mean, I think it would
Do it
light
now.
on fire, but it would go way slower than drywall would.
Oh, so it gives you time to get your stuff together before you burn
It's
to death.
not the
Got it.
drywall that's the issue. It's the insulation that catches fire so quickly.
Okay, well, this stuff insulates itself, so it's just look it up.
I was
You'll
just
find a
correcting
picture.
you because you said it burns slower than drywall.
So anyway, are you handy, Taylor, with tools?
Yeah, pretty good.
I say that because like I see the projects at Taylor's house that he's done before and stuff, but then like I don't know.
I'm sorry, did you say handy or handsy?
Well, either way,
Both.
pretty good.
Either way, either or.
Definitely he's handsy.
But I feel like people would look at Taylor out of the four of us and be like, that dude doesn't know how to use tools. But then like knowing Taylor, like I feel like Taylor probably knows more than all four of us.
Yeah, I was probably so I was raised in like the middle of nowhere, and
It was still bigger
respect.
than Ethan's place.
yeah,
Respect.
definitely. But I definitely grew up as like a country boy. Like when I was 16, my first car was like a Bronco 2 with like a 6-inch lift.
Oh yeah.
And I wore nothing but camouflage and blaze orange. I had a fish hook on my hat.
I
Oh
remember.
no!
Oh yeah. he
That was
did.
my life.
Seriously?
Yep, for sure.
Now that is country.
Yeah.
Things changed, but when about the same time we built like a garage with an apartment over top, and we had a contractor do the framing and all the stuff on the outside. But then me and my dad and my grandfather, who was an electrician for 20 plus years, we did everything on the inside. So all the electricity, drywall, even like HVAC stuff, like we did everything. And then now my grandma lives up there.
See, and that's awesome. That is one thing that I can say. I don't know about everybody else's story. I did not benefit from. I never had a dad in my life growing up. So I never learned any of that stuff. I had to self-teach myself all of that stuff. And there's a lot of stuff that I probably could have learned that I never did. But that's the kind of stuff that I wish I would have had at a younger age for sure, because you remember it. You learn it and you do it when you're younger, and then you have it for the rest of your life.
This whole conversation has led me to a point where I have a game that I would like us to play next week.
All right.
Oh, I hate games.
What is it? You want to give everybody a little preview?
Essentially, I'm hoping it will be us making fun of Ethan the entire time, but
Thanks. You sound like a
Isn't
never
that
have
what
I
we
ever,
do?
but
That's-
home improvement edition.
Yeah.
That what you were thinking?
I think he just likes to make fun of you, Ethan.
I'm very easy to make fun of. It's, I think it's my face. I'm not really sure.
no, we
I think
won't be
it's my
making fun of
face.
Ethan the entire time, but it's going to be a ranking game.
Oh,
Ranking?
Oh,
Oh, I've never done
well, I already
rankings
know where
before.
you're ranked on my favorite headliners, Kyle. So
Definitely not at the top.
Probably not.
That's right. I like being on bottom more anyway.
oof,
Jake, Big Mac. Sorry, Taylor.
that's fine.
Taylor.
I put Big Mac above myself too.
He who shall not be named. Jake's dog.
Chubb.
The other who shall not be named. That one guy who worked for us for a summer, but never put anything, no content out. And then somewhere below him,
What about the
Multiple.
intern that quit like after a month?
phases.
That lied on his resume.
Yeah, that lied on his resume.
That intern, for sure.
Okay.
Then Kyle.
Yeah,
Dude.
I put the intern above Kyle too because the only reason that we had the intern was
because of Kyle.
It wasn't his fault, poor guy.
That guy totally lied about what he knew, though.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
This kid was in school for graphic design, and Kyle made better graphics than him.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's also why we haven't had an intern since. We're kind of a little gun shy now.
I actually said that to somebody the other night because they made a comment. They were like, how do I become an intern for you guys in the next 2 weeks so I can get backstage at the draft? And I was like, well, to be honest with you, I said, since that last intern screwed us over, we haven't even considered it again.
Yeah.
I mean,
if anything, I would be down for an intern for Taylor, and that's about it.
I'll hire my own intern, Kyle.
It'd be nice to have a research intern.
Kind of, yes.
This isn't, you don't get a TA, Kyle. Okay.
No, I'm just talking about somebody that if we're busy doing something and we're like, we really need this number and I can't find it. Can you help me find this? And then they're able to help us find that information. So then I don't have to stop an entire video to go search for it.
Chat GPT.
Well, I do think that there's some fantasy websites that have people just devoted to finding the host's stats and statistics.
Oh, all the big ones do. 100%.
Huge ones.
And that's why most of
think
those people suck too, because they don't even know what they're talking about.
they don't even know
Right.
where they got the stat from.
Yeah.
But I do think that in general, we have been burned repeatedly by just even hiring regular people to be on the.
It's because people don't have that work ethic thing that I talked about before.
And
There it
so, because I've had people ask me, mostly high school kids, like, well, how did you get into this? I'm like, I got lucky, but I
I
also
turned them
worked,
down for a year, and then I
also
okay.
did a lot. Like, you would not have known I existed had I not done fantasy football stuff for free for years, like
To be honest,
multiple years.
To be honest, I didn't even know you existed until Kyle mentioned you.
Until Kyle mentioned me. So
Listen, for every bad intern that I brought on board, I've also brought on an Ethan.
one Ethan.
You brought on
Yeah,
more than
one
bad
Ethan.
interns before, though.
And one bad intern.
I can think of 3 off the top of my head that have been brought in here
That one psychopath.
yeah, that was bad.
That was real bad.
That
The
was really
dude that literally started then stopped within a week.
Yep.
And then
There's
we
been-
never heard from him again.
Yeah. There's probably been like 5.
So if you're trying to get on the headliners, what we're saying is you can't. This is a closed room.
I wouldn't say we're close, but we are going to be very picky moving forward about anybody else joining the team. I don't think we should say never ever.
Ever.
Just not for right now.
We're just going to put Taylor in charge of it from now on, since he hasn't made a bad hire yet.
It's very true.
He hasn't made a good one, but he hasn't made a bad one.
Well,
That's right, Ethan. I hired you. You're welcome.
Hey, it's worked out really well for me. Not sure about the channel as a whole. Probably worse off with me, but I'm not returning the button. So
I'm not. It took me a second. I was like, "What button?"
What button is he talking about? Yeah,
the button,
I know you got the button.
YouTube button. No, but I do think that like Jake's totally spot on when he said that work ethic is just not a thing. When I talk at high schools and I show off the button, which they think is way cooler than my doctorate, I've gotten multiple questions like, well, how did you do that? Like, how did you like get on with a channel that was already doing that well? And I'm like, I did it for free for 3 years. I made connections. And I think that that applies to anything that you want to do in life. You need to get into the field that you want to get into and start making connections, because the connections are where the promotions and things happen. It has nothing to do with how good you are at something. It's all about who you know in life. And so my dad used to say, it's not about who you are, it's about who you know. And so it doesn't matter how many credentials you have from a college. If you don't have a way into the organization that you're trying to get into, or you don't have the work ethic on paper that shows that, hey, I don't want to just do this. I'm going to do this well, repeatedly. And I don't care if I'm getting paid or not. It's all that matters is doing the thing well. and I'm going to be consistent. I'm not going to, I'm going to hop in and then hop out for 4 months in the off season, then you're going to find a way to make it happen. And I think too many people get into fantasy football and just other work in life, and they hop into it and they think, well, if I'm not the most successful or profitable person in 6 months, I'm just going to quit this. And they burn out. We see people. How many times have you seen somebody on Twitter that like got shot to the moon and they burn out? They burn out. They just disappear 6 months later because the new wears off quickly, and being the star of the show wears off quickly unless you find a way to like turn it into something more, and you use it to build the connections to get you into a place where you can be successful repeatedly for a long period of time. And I think that applies to pretty much everything. So that's my life advice for the day.
Fantasy football is not also a very forgiving industry either. Like
No.
If you're bad a majority of the time and you don't have a shtick, you're going to get chewed up because people are going to be able to tell you're not doing your stuff. Some people have a shtick, so they stick around for a little bit longer, but you're bad and you get chewed up by certain people and you can't take it, so then you bounce. And then there's some people out there that have that shtick and they still suck at this, and somehow or another people still listen to them.
Ish.
If
you're entertaining, somebody out there is going to watch you.
Do you think that we have a shtick? Being good at it?
I'll have a stick.
I feel like we've I feel like we've had conversations in the past about like Reddit posts. There's always like that Reddit post that's just like, who are the worst fantasy analysts? And I don't feel like our names get brought up often, but there's still some people that just hate us. Why do you think that is, Jake? Why do you think people hate us? And you're not allowed to say because Kyle's mean to them on Twitter.
No, I don't think that's anything to do with it. It's partially that. I mean, I think honestly, I don't think we get a whole lot of hate on YouTube on any platform where we're at. But the hate that we do get, I know me personally, I don't know how to handle it. So to me, it pisses me off. And sometimes I'll fire back because I want to put some idiot in their place. Recently, Taylor told us to stop doing that. And I have a hard time stopping to do that. If I see it, I get immediately pissed off. I'm a grown ass man and I don't do this to be disrespected by anybody. But then like I got so worked up that Kyle saw that I was getting worked up, and Kyle was like, eventually don't even look at comments for a while. Like just step away from it. So I don't think I've really looked at comments on YouTube in a few weeks, other than just like when I open the app, the initial ones that show there. And that's helped a lot. I think a lot of people that do it, they're doing it just to try to get a reaction and to get some type of interaction from somebody, because most times it's somebody with a fake name, no profile picture. They're just trying to stir the pot. They don't know anything. Maybe it's from another channel, whatever it is, just trying to rile things up. But the more I remove that stuff from my life, the better.
Taylor, since you scolded us, I haven't fought with anyone on Twitter. I just would like to put that out there right now.
I'm proud of you. Well, I think that it's just one of those things that's like, you could do what we do for just a paycheck and just try to ride that as long as you want to. But I think that all of you guys, because y'all are on camera and I'm not, but all of you guys do what you do like out of passion for it. And so when you have passion attached to something, it also like you're putting I don't know, it's more vulnerable. Like you're putting yourself into it. It's not just like this work that you're detached from just so that you can collect from. And so I think that when you do that, it also like it makes it, for lack of a better way to say it, like more emotional, like you're more attached to it. So if you put something out there, like when you put a video up, like you put time and effort and your heart and soul into making that video, even the stupid stuff that we say or, fun that we have with it, like it still means something to you. And so if somebody comes back and they like say, oh, this sucked or what the heck was this? Then you're like, man, it cuts a little bit deeper because you did put yourself into it. And so it's hard not to, feel a certain way, like Jake was saying, or whatever. But, at the end of the day, like I told Kyle and Jake, and when we talked, it's just like, why even like give somebody the time? Like, I know what I'm doing, and I know that I'm doing the best job that I can, and I'm trying things, and I'm putting myself out there. So like, who are they? Like, what are they doing? Like, I don't even care. Like there are at least 175,000 other people that like what I'm doing enough to come back and watch it. And if that's like good enough for them, then I'm making a difference. I'm helping somebody out. And so the handful of people that don't like it, like, I don't even need to talk to you.
Well, and the thing is too, is we're not just passionate about what we do. We're passionate about who we do it for.
Yeah.
Sure.
So when we do see somebody that doesn't like it and they respond, and not just, and I don't want, because we don't fight with everyone that disagrees us. I know some people will say that, but that's further from the truth, because we have plenty of conversations with people that don't agree on anything. It's always about how you say it and not what you say is what I try to tell people. So it's like when someone has when they don't even have the time of day, it just feels disrespectful at times, because it's like, we do everything we can for this community and try to give back as much as possible. And yeah, you're only one person, so it probably really doesn't matter. But it's like, you could probably be a little bit more adult about your reaction right now to us than what you are.
But I get really offended when people are like, hey, you're not a doctor, or not a real doctor. That's
real
the one I
doctor,
get.
yeah.
I think I
doctor.
get more offended than you, Ethan. Let's be honest.
You get more
confrontational,
you're more direct with your the way you say it and articulate it. And I appreciate that, because I know that I'm like, me personally, it's like, all right, you'd never say that to my face. One. And I think Jake and I have talked about this before. The headliner crew is not small. We don't walk down the street and think people are going to pick fight with us in real life, because nobody would. You would not see this crew roll in those 6'2", 6'4", 6'2", 6'5", 6 foot, and 5'11" and 3/4 people.
Yeah, you got it, Taylor. Finally got it.
I just remember when me and Jake curled the 55-pound weights at the Dick's, and somebody could barely pick it up.
You didn't curl the 55er,
did
you?
Did better than Kyle. Yeah.
I don't remember this.
I remember it. I was there.
I was there. What happened, Taylor?
I think Jake curled it. I had to
Yeah, Ethan struggled, but he got it there.
Big
I
curl.
did 4 or 5 reps.
I don't ever remember even attempting this.
Kyle did the thing that Ethan usually does, where he started to pick it up and then had a story about his shoulder or something like that.
Okay.
I don't remember the weight.
That's okay, Kyle. I know
you
that
didn't
you have
pick it up.
selective memory.
All right, we're finding the closest Dicks when we get to Casey.
Ethan, find us a Dick's.
We always know that. How much money am I going to get if I get us into that Dick's?
No
I mean,
money.
they're publicly open, so probably nothing.
Well, I was hoping I'd get a little something,
But you're the one with the car, so you'll get gas money.
Oh, we're going to the Dick's.
We're curling them 55ers.
Kyle's going to touch down in Kansas City. He's like, where's the Dick's?
You're gonna be like, why did you carry on a dumbbell as your personal item?
There's no way that fit in the carry-on, Kyle.
What sucks is we're all going to be at the airport waiting for you for how many hours?
Would you?
Wait, what?
I hope they have good food.
You could
I have not
Uber.
heard this. We're waiting on Ethan now?
You could Uber anywhere you wanted to go.
Dude, have you seen? You just mentioned the size of the 4 of us. What Uber's going to fit us?
Get a luxury one. You're rich. Figure it
We
out.
Ubered
Jake.
in Indy.
Uber
Those guys were
XXXXL.
super nice.
Yeah.
Those guys were super nice.
Yeah, but
Jake.
You weren't
we
there.
add Mack to the mix too. Mack ain't no
Oh, that's
small dude.
That's a big dude. He's got a ride shotgun.
Most of the time, Kyle rode shotgun with his hood on, and he looked like the Unabomber. Kyle would walk into everywhere with his hood. Kyle would put his hood on and then forget that it was on and just walk around places that you shouldn't have your hood on. And he would have it, and it would make people feel awkward. And me and Taylor would be like, Kyle, your hood's on. And he'd be like, oh yeah. He'd take it off again.
Kyle's the only
75 degrees,
person-
Kyle. Take the hood off.
But I had it right here to keep my ears warm.
But we were inside.
Yeah.
They were still cold. They were
It
still
was
warming
heated.
up. Is
I don't
this
ever-
episode at 2 hours?
No, because
No.
Ethan didn't show up till 9:40.
I was like, dang, we got like 2 episodes here.
I don't know. Do we have enough here, Taylor?
I don't.
Did we
know.
talk about anything good in this show?
Good.
It's
Yeah, we talked about
always
lots of
good.
good things.
It's all good.
I feel like this show is a little bit more serious than the last
It
couple.
was more serious, but it was
It
inspirational.
had its ups and downs. We started with Ethan. That wasn't serious at all. And then
For him, it was.
And then we moved on to different things. So
Yeah, we talked about college.
We
and-
told kids not to go to school.
Yeah,
and how to cheat if they do.
yeah.
Right.
That's definitely going on the thumbnail, right?
Sure.
If you're going to school, you should cheat.
Kyle's
to cheat
guide
your
to
way through
cheating in
college.
college.
We had a little bit of group therapy.
We did a little bit. Yeah, it was a different kind of vibe on this one, but it was good stuff still.
It was good. It was good. Yeah. Maybe
We can't
just
always
all
make fun of
needed it.
Ethan. It would get old.
Before you guys were here, Jake was talking about Haboobs.
I did.
Who?
Haboobs.
You
I
never heard of-
experienced a haboob in Arizona.
He tasted the Haboob.
I tasted it.
Oh, are you talking about the wind?
That's
Like
the
dirt
wind.
storm?
Yeah, it's a dust storm.
Yeah.
I ain't seen a haboob in years.
Yeah, much less tasted one. It's the last haboob you
Many
tasted.
moons since Kyle's seen a haboob.
Yeah, it was bad. I tasted dirt in my mouth. It was gross.
Can you
First time.
describe it? What is it?
It's like a wall of dirt, and it just moves in like a storm comes in, and it's nothing but wind and dust and dirt, and it makes everything nasty, dirty. You think about it, when it gets windy in the desert and everything's dry, it's just the dirt that starts blowing.
I'm gonna
So-
Google it.
I went outside to get something out of the car. When I unlocked my car, the headlights come on, and you could just see like all the dirt coming. Yeah, it was nasty. It's too
Yeah,
early for
it was
Kyle.
Past Kyle's bedtime.
No, it's not. It's 11:22. Kyle.
I was like, man, I could be playing video games right now.
I'll catch a second wind here soon. I need to get something to drink. I'm out of water.
Aw. He's
I've been out of
parched.
water for a long
We had
time.
baseball practice tonight for the first time. I am a little dehydrated.
What is this we? You're the coach.
Dude, I got my cleats on. I'm out there running with the kids, fielding ground balls and everything.
I'm sure you did. I'm
Oh
sure
my
you did.
God, I knew it. I
Yeah,
just knew it.
100%.
Did you wear your baseball pants? Tell
No,
me
I
you
don't
wore
have my
your
baseball
baseball
pants on,
pants.
but I do wear my cleats.
Kyle.
I feel like it's worse.
Did you wear a hoodie?
I did. This is the same exact hoodie I wore.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Why am I not surprised that you have your cleats on at baseball practice?
You shouldn't be. I 100% strike you as the guy that does that.
100%.
And
Yes.
I know it. And I don't care.
Poor guy. Well,
Okay.
we'll let Kyle go get some water. But thanks for joining us, for listening to all of our ramblings this evening. For now, this is the end of our episode. Looking forward to Kyle, your game next week. Be ranking some things, maybe. But everybody have a great night, day, afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. And that's all for this episode of Discombobulated.